Today promises to be an inspiring day of learning, innovation, leadership, wellness, and professional growth, right? We're excited that you're here. And if you're still gathering your food or whether you're online, please, please, please settle in. And I will repeat again, if you have a phone with you because you want to be that effective program coordinator, all I'm going to ask you to do is to put your phone on silence. And if you can afford that, put it on vibrate. That is also welcome as well. Now, on behalf of the Residency Program Coordinator Forum Executive Committee, our DIO, Designated Institutional Officer, our GME office, and SUNY Downstate Health Sciences University, it is my absolute pleasure to welcome each of you to our 6th annual RPCF Educational Retreat. Give yourself a round of applause for your participation today. Today's theme is Strong Minds, Smart Tools, advancing coordinator leadership through innovation and wellness in graduate medical education. And this theme couldn't be more timely, right? Because as program coordinators, we wear so many hats. We are planners, problem solvers, communicators, we're educators, event planners, technology expert, well, some of us, counselors, and occasionally mind readers. That's a part of our job too. And somehow we seem to manage to get all of this accomplished before lunchtime. We do all this and more while making everything look effortless. And I'm pretty sure each and every one of us can agree about that. So today isn't simply about technology and how to implement them. It isn't simply about wellness, and it isn't simply about leadership. Today, we did this retreat to make it about you, right? Today, we're celebrating the coordinators, we're celebrating you, we're celebrating investment. It's about investing in your own professional growth, learning from one another, discovering innovative tools, building stronger connection, and remembering to take care of yourself, that taking care of yourself is just as important as taking care of everyone else. Now, I would like to ask a question, and this is your first part of participation today, so hopefully you'll play along. Just by a show of hands, right? Raise your hands if you already answered an email this morning before arriving here. Okay, keep that hand up, right? Keep your hand up if you already answered more than 2 emails before coming here. Mm-hmm. Anyone answered emails while walking in the building? Yeah? Okay, to that I'll say, welcome to GME. Give yourself a round of applause because your dedication is impeccable. So before we begin our educational program, I would like to recognize the outstanding leadership that we have here who continues to support and make this retreat possible. And at this time, I'm going to ask Juliet to come up to acknowledge and recognize our leadership.
Good morning, everyone. So, we took the liberty of really taking our time to orchestrate and create these beautiful t-shirts. And I am not really seeing people wearing them. The Downstate side have their t-shirts on. What's going on my MIMO side? I know. Throw it on top of whatever you have on, just so that we could all have, or, be part of this experience. And you can't lie, this year the t-shirts are really cute. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, good morning again, everyone. And it is my pleasure to welcome you all to the 6th, I can't believe we're saying this, the 6th annual RPCF Educational Retreat. I would also like to extend a warm welcome to our institutional leaders, distinguished guest presenters, and the speakers today. Thank you as well for your continued support of GME. When I founded this forum, or the RPCF, in 2018, the vision was simple. It was to create a space where program coordinators could grow professionally, support one another, advocate for our profession, and collaborate to strengthen the GME. Today, the vision continues through our commitment to professional development, wellness advocacy, and collaboration. Seeing so many of you guys here today and every year, it warms my heart, and it also is a true testament of how far we have come together. So this year, our theme, Strong Minds, Smart Tools, Advancing Coordinator Leadership Through Innovation and Wellness in GME. It reminds us that while technology continues to transform our work, our greatest strength will always be the people behind the technology. So no matter what happens with AI taking over, or they say AI is taking over, the computer is trying to, make our work easier, we are still needed to be able to make sure that GME functions the way it should. So I would like to thank, before I get started, to introduce our leadership, I would like to thank the executive committee, Ms. Natalie Arrindell, Devareco Wilkie, or D, she stepped, okay. Chantel Litrian, who's all the way in the back, and Keynote Williams, who unfortunately is not here today. He is attending a conference outside. Our committee members and the executive committee has really helped to we're the driving force behind this RPCF forum for all the wellness activities, all the things that we put on for the coordinators. The planning committee or the RPCF executive committee are really the backbones behind it. Also, our committee members, which you'll be hearing about later, the committees that we do have, our presenters, and everyone who worked behind the scenes to make today possible. Again, thank you. So to everyone attending here today, I encourage you to learn, network, please ask questions, and most importantly, enjoy the day. I hope you leave feeling inspired, empowered, and energized. So without further ado, it is my pleasure to introduce our leadership, Dr. Jason Lazar. He's the Dean for the College of Medicine. We also have Ms. Robin Gitman, who's the Senior Vice President and DIO for Maimonides Medical Center. And Dr. Nitin Desai, the Chief Academic Officer and DIO for Kings County Hospital. He is virtual. And finally, our very own DIO, Dr. Lisa Dresner. Everyone who I just mentioned will be providing welcoming remarks. So I am going to go ahead and introduce them again. So again, thank you everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful retreat. We're going to start with Dr. Lazar.
Thanks very much. Good morning. So good morning, everyone, and welcome to our conference today. I'm Jason Lazar. I'm actually the Executive Vice Dean of the College of Medicine, and on behalf of Dean Brunicardi and the entire Dean's Office, it's my great pleasure to welcome all of you to the 6th Annual Residency Program Coordinators Forum Retreat. This forum was established in collaboration with our GME office, and it provides a venue to support all residency and fellowship program coordinators in the areas of professional development, residency educational development, emotional and physical well-being, advocacy, and work-life balance. These programs contribute to the professional development of our cohort of residency coordinators at Downstate and at our affiliated hospitals, including Maimonides and Kings County. We're confident that today's retreat will achieve the objective of strong minds and smart tools, advancing coordinator leadership through innovation and wellness in GME. As physicians, educators, and trainers, we often focus on the structure of our training programs, curriculum designs, clinical milestones, research productivity, logged duty hours. But as a cardiologist, I, for one, know the true heartbeat of any program, any residency training program. And it resides with you, the daily dedication of our program coordinators. To continue the analogy, you're the pulse of the programs, navigating accreditation standards, serving as the compass for our trainees. You manage compliance, logistics, human emotions with grace that holds our entire training ecosystem together. I would imagine some of you have already accrued enough hours to even grandfather your psychiatry boards. The efforts of our Residency Program Coordinators Forum are intended to support and uplift coordinators across the country in their journey to become campus leaders. Your hard work continues to receive national recognition. Over the past few years, the ACGME was acknowledged in terms of outstanding achievement, and several coordinators have been noted. Keynote Williams and Juliet Arthur for their most recently Chantel Litrian with the Deborah L. Dooley GME Program Coordinator Excellence Award. Round of applause, please. We celebrate this outstanding leadership, and this speaks to our passion for growing leaders at every level at Downstate. Kudos to all of you. To Dr. Lisa Dresner, our institutional DIO, and to all the DIOs at all of our affiliate institutions. To all the program coordinators, our dear friends at Maimonides and Kings County, we value our partnership. Ours together is the business of making doctors better and making better doctors. Welcome to today's program. I hope you learn much and enjoy the opportunity to network with all of your fellow coordinators and all of you who support our GME programs. Thank you and much gratitude.
Next, we're going to have Dr. Nitin Desai.
It's Ninad.
Oh, Ninad, sorry.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. Colleagues, guests, Ms. Green, and the amazing group of RPCs that you have there. Today, as we gather to celebrate and recognize the invaluable contributions of residency program coordinators in this sixth annual forum, it's amazing how time has flown. You know, it's already been 6 of these already. And I thank Ms. Arthur and the organizers for inviting me to address the gathering. As I was thinking of what I have said at this forum over the years, I realized the growing importance of RPCs even more so for our future physicians. And I made a list and I thought it will be that long, and it is, but I won't bring it up so much, but let me sort of touch on some of the things that I think are notable that the residency program coordinators do. They're advocates for our residents, first and foremost. They serve as guides to them. They are often the face of the department and the first point of contact for all residency programs. They are the protectors of our future physicians. They are facilitators for their onboarding and wellness. They are proctors for their in-service exams and other evaluations. Occasionally, they also serve as realtors for the incoming residents. They definitely serve as tour guides and guide the future physicians in the residency program maze. They are nurturers. They are innovators, structuring the residency programs together with the program directors. And I think, as Ms. Arthur mentioned, they are incorporating technology to make residency and resident tasks easier and manage schedules, which are complex and spread all over the place. I'm sure I missed many more, but these just highlight the amazing contributions you make to ensuring physicians starting their careers and have a hurdle-free path to their future. Me and my team at the academic office at Kings County Hospital and the GME office value immensely the collaboration and cooperation with all of you as we serve the same mission of caring for our residents. Residency is a challenging and stressful time for many, and coordinators are often the empathetic listeners who provide a shoulder for reassurance and important administrative support to all these residents as they move through the residency. I know you have some wonderful speakers today and a busy and a valuable program planned for the day. So let me applaud you all again. And of course, congratulations to the service award recipients. I believe they are being giving awards later today. Once again, thank you and the very best for the forum. Enjoy your day.
Woo! Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Desai. Next, we'll have Ms. Robin Gitman, DIO and Senior Vice President for MIMO.
For the record, I object to being cleanup every year. Because everybody said everything there is to say so eloquently. Hey, Nanad. Hi. So what I love about coming every year is to see the growth and longevity. It's what we do when we build our residents, and to see that we're putting the same attention into our coordinators, and to see the national recognition that all of you have received for your efforts. I just love to be here. I can't say any more about how important the work is. You know it, and everybody before me has already said it. So I just want to say I love being here, and you have inspired the Maimonides coordinators who have started their own forum. This will be year 2, and we hope to, yep, you guys are a motivator. We hope to have our sessions mid-year so that we can have this at your time and then have something else mid-year that you will come to us. It will help all of you for TAGME, and so we can coordinate and tag team the topics that you're working on and the ones that we're doing so that we can continue to grow this. So thank you for the inspiration, and we hope to be able to contribute as much to you as you have given to us. So looking forward to a great day. Thank you.
I love that. Y'all just made my whole day with that, so just wanted you to know. Congratulations. We look forward to attending some of your own retreats. And finally, last but definitely not least, we have our very own Dr. Lisa Dresner, DIO.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Strong Minds and Smart Tools. And I think that this is a really, really important topic. I'm so happy to see you all here. It is great to take time out to actually grow and learn and take a break from doing some of the grunge work. Our goal is, though, to give you some tools to help you make it easier and take time out of your day and allow you to get to your why. I think that when you're at least my impression is that your program coordinators revel in the time they spend with residents, with communicating with others, and making your programs better. And today you're going to learn some tools to help you do the work of the coordinator in less time so you can get to your why. I want to again welcome and thank all of you for coming today and being at our esteemed institution. Enjoy yourselves and welcome. And thank you. I want to spend a special thanks to our leadership, Dr. Arthur Green, to Juliet Green, Natalie, Ms. Devareco, and anybody I forgot. Chantel, over there, Chantel, for doing their hard work and putting this together. I really do appreciate. And part of being a coordinator is being a leader. And I remind you that you are leaders. You're the resource. When I am as a program director, or even in my own staff, I don't know what to do. Someone asks me a question, I'm supposed to be the big knowledge. No, I ask you. So congratulations, and thank you.
Okay, so they say behind every thing.
I put it in.
They say behind every successful residency program, there's also an exceptional program coordinator, right? And that program coordinator is you. Each one of us here is exceptional. And at this time, we're going to introduce our first speaker. I'm going to turn this over to Natalie, one of our MC for today.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks again for coming out to our 6th annual RPCF educational retreat. My name is Natalie Arrindell. I'm the administrator for GME at SUNY Downstate, and together with Devareco Wilkie, D for short, we're going to be your MCs for the day. Whether you are joining us in person or virtually, thank you for taking the time to invest in your professional growth, your leadership, and your well-being. Today is about learning, connecting, recharging, and celebrating the incredible work that program coordinators do every day. Today's agenda was intentionally designed to help us work smarter, strengthen our leadership skills, and leave feeling refreshed and inspired. And now, to jump into our first session. Our first presenter, Dee, is currently the program coordinator for Obstetrics and Gynecology. Dee is an accomplished graduate medical education administrator with nearly 2 decades of experience in academic medicine and nearly a decade of experience in residency administration. Dee holds a Bachelor's of Science in Business Management and Finance, Accounting, and a minor in Economics, followed by a Master's of Science in Global Business and Finance from Brooklyn College. She is also C-TAGME certified. Her dedication to excellence has been recognized with several prestigious honors, including the 2026 Graduate Medical Education Residency Coordinator of the Year Award, the 2023 Residency Program Coordinator Forum Professional Development Award, and the 2023 Department of Obstetrics and Gynecology Commitment to Excellence Award. Known for her integrity, leadership, collaborative spirits, and relentless pursuit of excellence, Dee remains dedicated to advancing graduate medical education while mentoring the next generation of coordinator leaders. Her professional philosophy is simple. Meaningful success is achieved through preparation, consistency, innovation, and a commitment to helping others reach their fullest potential. I welcome Dee to the podium.
Yes, yes, yes. As program coordinators, we wear many hats, and that's one thing I'll be doing today. I will be your MC, and of course, I'm going to be your first presenter today. The only thing I'm going to ask you is to liven up because we have fed you. I don't want to see any sad faces. If you haven't eaten, do so now. I'm expecting participation to the fullest, and I'm expecting you to cheer me on. Because if you don't realize, I'm nervous. But because I'm among family, I'm going to try to make this as fun as possible, and I'm expecting you to help me and just engage a little bit to let me know that, you know what, it's going to be all right. All right, before we begin, my topic, of course, as you can look up on the board, it says managing yourself to personal productivity. And we're going to be leveraging AI to enhance the effectiveness as a GME coordinator, right? And if we think about it, can AI remind faculty about evaluation? Yes, it probably can, right? Can AI organize documents? Yes, it probably can do that too. But I want you to ask yourself this question. Can AI survive an accreditation visit while answering 20 phone calls and then helping a nervous intern to look at their schedule, organize stuff? No, it can't. And that's the difference between us and AI. AI is a tool. It's designed to make our life better, right? So as we go forward through this presentation, I need you to keep that in the back of your mind. AI is a tool. You are the machine, right? It's a helpmate. It doesn't do the work for you. The idea starts with you. I have no disclosure at this time. However, as we go through this series, my goal is to at the end of my presentation, our learning objective today is for you to be able to create a sustainable personal productivity system that reduces cognitive overload and increases efficiency and enables to greater focus on strategic initiative and supports you, that would support you, your residents, your faculty, and then to accreditation success. Ooh. Secondly, I'm going to introduce the system Kanban. Have anybody heard of that? What we're going to learn a little bit about today. We're going to learn how to apply Kanban principles to organize and prioritize personal tasks and department workflows. This is what I'm talking about. Help me help you. I love it. And also, as I said before, AI is a tool. We're going to use AI assistance for compliance processes, right? I hope that at the end of the session, you're able to identify the opportunities to incorporate AI into your daily routine as GME administrative coordinators, right? And also to incorporate AI tools to automate routine administrative tasks while maintaining quality, professionalism, and efficiency. And lastly, hopefully with these tools that have been given to you, the example of it, you will be able to develop an AI-assisted process that reduce administrative burden while maintaining compliance and quality. In other words, I say all of this, give you all this information just to say this. This session will help the GME coordinators to build a sustainable productivity system using Kanban principles and AI. You learn to reduce your cognitive overload, streamline administrative workflow, and maintain compliance while freeing up time to strategic priorities. And I know you probably say, why you couldn't say that in the first place? But guess what? It's on my slides. I'm going to go through all of it. I did the work, y'all. Moving along. Who can relate? Meet Jasmine and Melissa. I'm pretty sure each of us, in some way, shape, or form, could relate to these program coordinators. You see, their story is what we hope that everyone sees us as, right? Their story in this segment, in this first phase, and we're going to go through several phases, their story illustrates how personal productivity techniques and AI tools can transform your daily workflow as GME professionals, right? The idea is, right, for Jasmine and Melissa, you see Jasmine here, she manages accreditation, timeliness. She do residence onboarding, committee coordination, nothing that is new to us for a large academic center, while Melissa juggles recruitment cycles, evaluation system, compliance reporting, you name it. Both of them face overwhelming administrative workload, right? But in this picture, it makes it look well, like we handle everything. And that's the face we as coordinators put on as we go through our daily routine. But little do they know that this is a reality. Majority of the time throughout our day, it's like everyone wants something. At any given time, this is what our day look like. We put on the face in the first episode that we have everything together, but majority of the time, this is how our life is, all right? So oftentimes, this can make your workflow feel impossible, and most of the time it does. Everyone wants to be present and healthy at work. We want to thrive and not merely survive, right? But the primary challenge is not often the workload itself, but the accumulation of the competing priorities and interruptions throughout our day. We may feel like we have it together, have a system, but then in the middle of the day and sometime the beginning, and before you get here, you're answering the emails. Before you get here, there's something urgent, right? You get here and then your email is just bombarded. It's like a traffic jam of emails. You have like ad hoc and last minute requests, mainly from your directors, sometimes from outside entities, and many from your residents. And then of course you have those urgent tasks, quote unquote, that has to be done right now. People don't worry about what your day look like or the things that you plan to achieve. And then we often hear about our great solution, time management. I don't know about you, but I'm so tired of hearing it. I am. I'm gonna be honest. While doing my presentation, I did a little bit of research trying to figure out how I could just get around this concept of time management. And guys, I'm sorry to tell you, time management is actually a solution. Before I go there, let's look back at this. You see, time influences every area of our lives, from improving our health and advancing our careers to strengthening the relationship and achieving personal goals. But there's a trick to this time management thing, right? Yes, we often hear, a lot of times, you hear this thing right here. Manage your time, master your life. We always hear these time management power things or power phrases that you use. And you can't manage your time, but you can manage your priorities. So then therefore we do a to-do list and we make all of these plans of how our day is gonna go. But most of the time, even though time management is the common denominator of success, it never goes the way that we intended to do, right? Because as program coordinators, we don't manage time. Majority of our time, our life feel like we're negotiating with it, correct? We may plan something throughout the day, next thing you know, oh, catastrophe in the background. Now you're negotiating with it. Something that will take you 30 minutes just become an hour or two for no apparent reason, just because you're interrupted. So here's the thing that they don't tell us about time management. You see, time management doesn't matter if we don't have the right focus, the right discipline, the right consistency, and of course, the right results. Majority of the times we hear all these phrases, but no one tells us that if you don't plan and focus and execute and repeat this thing over and over, majority of the time the result you get is not the one you expect. So, Dee, why are you telling me this? I'm going to share something that I learned recently. I'm reading this book and it's called Micro Skills, Small Action, Big Impact. And this was written by two doctors, Dr. Audrey Laundrie and Dr. Rachel Lewis. And they mentioned three truths in their book that while writing the book, they keep on coming across. The first truth is time is only going to be spent, right? We don't have a saving account where we could put it away and then take it out later, right? The idea is that every second, every minute, it matters. So even though you coordinate your time to accomplish your goal at a certain, to get a certain things done at a certain period of time, those interruptions do affect that process. So it doesn't matter all of the things you put in. With interruption constantly affecting your process, it makes it difficult. Another thing that they don't tell you is that, and this is the second truth that they saw, the world is not equal. There's no such thing that one shoes fit all, right? Time cannot, everyone comes to the table with different experiences and different resources, right? You have to accurately assess your strength and your weakness and work it into this time management thing. Because if you try to do it the D way, it's not gonna work. Because we come to the table with different things. One shoes don't fit all. And then the last truth that they develop in this book is that learning is limitless if it's accessible. Let me not leave that out, right? Very few things in this world is limitless. But if we develop an openness to learning, now this will only strengthen your expertise, your trajectory, and at the end, it will strengthen your course as you go along. So it is when we learn to intentionally invest our time rather than merely spending it that is when our transformation happened with our daily habits, right? And the transformation happened and it lasts into lasting results. See, our future is not defined by the time we have, but how wisely we choose to use it. All right, Dee. Okay, you said that, so what? So what? This is what I want you to do with this time management thing as we go through this course. I don't want you to use time management just to change. Today, if you choose to adapt any of the tools that I introduce in your workflow or your personal growth, I don't want you to change because this is what everyone is doing or this is something that Dee said works for her. What I want you to do is to change because you believe that regardless of any stage that you are in right now in your journey, that you need to grow, you need to be motivated to evolve. So instead of using my time management tool or any tool that I introduced to you today to change your way of life, because it doesn't matter if your intention is not to evolve into someone or someone you want to be in the future. And we're going to go through that together. And I'm going to show you that this do work if you change the mindset, right? Because once you change your mindset, the only thing that happens, it makes you better for yourself and for work, but it also makes you better overall. So one of the things that we often don't tell everyone or is not often shared with us is that your work life and your personal life intertwines, whether you like it or not. Everything depends on you, how you feel at a certain time. When you come in here, your productivity depends on how you as an individual feel as you step into your work process. Okay, Dee, you said all of this. What are some of the tools? Let me hear the tools and see if I can apply it. Sure. One of our major problem is that inbox. I don't know about you, but I dread my emails every morning because it's coming like it's just a ticking time bomb waiting to happen, right? One of the tools that I found, and everything I introduced to you today is something that has worked for me. And I'm going to ask you to just use it in the way that it will work for you. Smart organization. What does that mean? Smart organization is just a fancy term that we use to basically describe us intentionally using folders in our email, labels, or those filters in order to structure your workflow. If you are familiar with Outlook, we can set rules, right? I'm going to show you how to do that. But I'm going to just explain each of these as we go along. And when we think about templates, a lot of us is familiar with that. Templates could be used in your email as well. And I find that this made my life easier. It's reusable and it's reusable formats for frequently performed tasks, such as if you're sending out emails every week to your residents, you create a template. And this will make your life easier. Maybe it won't save some time, but it will save enough that you could have an extra minute or two at lunch and don't have to interrupt your lunch by answering the emails, right? And then, of course, you have categorizing, flags, and reminder. And out of all of this, I think my best thing here that I love the most is batch processing. So what is this? Batch processing is basically I use batch processing to schedule my emails to go out at a certain time. So if there's an email that I have on my to-do list that needs to go out tomorrow, and I have some time that I have to do it today, Outlook affords us that thing where you can schedule your email to go out tomorrow, whatever time you want it to go out automatically. So when you come in, you don't have to worry about that extra to-do item. Trust me, you do it, it change your life. But I could say all of this, but some of the time it helped just to see how these things work. So let me share with you firstly, smart organization. And then I'm gonna explain to you that pretty little clear email structure that you see there.
Rules allow you to move, flag, and respond to email messages automatically. Right-click on an existing message and then select Rules, Create Rule. There are several options for setting rules. Let's create one, moving all emails with the subject line Approval Request to a specific folder. Check the box for Subject Contains and enter or change the text if you need to. Check Move Item to Folder and then choose a folder or create a new one. Select OK to close the dialog box. Then select OK again to create the rule. You can use the rule right away by checking the Run This Rule box, then selecting OK. And your emails and any future ones fitting the rule will be moved. Outlook provides a range of templates you can use to change or create rules. Select File, Manage Rules and Alerts, New Rule. For this example, let's select Flag Messages from Someone for follow-up. Rule descriptions underlined in blue can be edited. Let's select People or Public Group. Double-click a contact, then select OK. Select Follow Up at this time to set a reminder, and select OK. Then select Next. Here you can put limitations on the rule, like only specific words. Check the box in Step 1, then the specific words link in Step 2, and add the words. Then select Add, OK. Select Next, and
Wonderful.
you can add exceptions to the rule, such as when your name appears in the CC box. Select Next. You can name your rule for reference. Check Run This Rule Now if you want, and select Finish. Note that certain rules will only run when Outlook is on. Select OK. Then select OK to exit. And your emails are flagged, as will any future ones fitting the rule.
Smart organization. All of these steps that I'm going to share with you is just for you to get it visually. You can find all of this information on Microsoft, right? But what does that do for you? Smart organization will take your overloaded email to make it look something like this, right? D, how is this possible? You're going to learn through smart organization or applying rules to your Outlook to make that morning introduction, if you will, to your work seem a little bit less daunting. Let's put it like that. So using smart organization, if you see here, you can put all your emails in categories. That doesn't mean your email disappear. It's still up to you. This is why I say AI or all of these technology is a tool for you to use to make your life better. So how do I track my emails? You see these little numbers here. This will tell you how many emails you have today or unopened or unread emails that you have that speak to AHME or ACGME conference or whatever it may be, speak to your coordinator, depending on what folder or what rules you put in the system, you could name it whatever you wanted to name it. And this is how you're going to follow or structure your email to make it easier. Because at the end of the day, a well-organized system reduces the time you spend searching for information, right? It prevents work overload responsibility, and it creates greater control over demanding workflow. Now, let's take a look at how we're going to categorize and flag. And all these things is for visual impact for you as you learn. I think I double-clicked that twice. But we're going to use Microsoft to tell us how this works for Outlook and how will this make our life a little bit better.
Categories can show what subjects your email, calendar, and contacts fall into. To assign a category to an email, right-click the message and choose Categorize. Then pick a category. The first time you use a category, Outlook asks if you want to rename it. Select Yes. To see all categories, select Categorize, All Categories. Select a category, then select Rename OK. Or create a category by selecting New, Name, Color, OK. For calendar events, follow the same process. Right-click a meeting, then click Categorize and select your category. You can also assign categories when creating meetings. Select Categorize, then select your category. Categories are only seen by you, and you can add multiple categories to email, contacts, and events. Flags and reminders. You can select the flag icon in an email to make it a to-do item. Or right-click the flag and pick a follow-up time. Select Add Reminder to open the menu. Check the reminder box, then pick the date and time. You can label the type of reminder you want. When you're finished, select OK. Reminders show in the message list and reading pane.
So this also is one step that we could use in order to make our workload and our work life better. For the sake of time, I'm going to be skipping over the next two. However, you can use Microsoft, and that's all I did, just type in these things, how to do this in Microsoft, and it shows me how to do it. All of this information that I'm giving to you is just readily available in Microsoft, right? Learning is limited. Use the things that already exist. That's one of the things that have to do with time management, and each of these things will be a positive impact on your personal productivity. Remember, I tell you, your personal productivity has everything to do with your professional productivity, right? Both go hand in hand. You could create the perfect system, but if you as a person don't feel good about it or don't want to engage in it, it will never work. Having the system and not actually implementing it will never work. All right, D, I'm not computer savvy. I'm gonna be my own devil advocate, guys. I'm not computer savvy. I don't like all of these things that you're saying. All right, no problem. Who here is a Post-it king or queen? I'm a king of Post-its. Love it. Nothing beats the power of a Post-it system. It's reliable, and I personally love it. Post-its works too. But what my intention is to do, I'm gonna make this whole thing work better for you. Just bear with me a little. I'm going to introduce also a concept to you guys. And this concept is called mind mapping. Anybody familiar with the term? So if not, you are? Mind mapping is a beautiful thing. Mind mapping is a visual tool which is used to organize your thoughts. And it starts with a central idea, and then you add main branches around it and using like single keywords. Mind mapping is all about clarity. Well, seeing this here could be a little bit confusing. So instead of just walking you through that, I'm gonna let the computer do it for me. So let's sit through. Beautiful. Now let's learn a little bit about what mind mapping is.
Mind mapping is a visual thinking technique that helps you organize ideas around a central concept. Instead of writing in long paragraphs or rigid bullet lists, you start with one main idea in the center and then branch out with related thoughts. It mirrors how our brains actually work, through associations, not straight lines. And here's something important. Mind mapping is not tool dependent. You don't need AI or other fancy software, although they may help. A blank sheet of paper and a pen are more than enough. Digital tools can enhance the process, but the power is in the thinking, not the software. Because mind mapping isn't about design, it's about clarity. So how do you actually create one? Step 1, start in the center. Write your main topic in the middle of a page and then circle it. Step 2, create main branches. Draw thick lines outward. Each branch represents a major category. Use single words, not sentences. Keywords keep your thinking flexible. Step 3, add sub-branches. From each main branch, draw thinner lines with more specific ideas. Step 4, use simple visual cues. Circle or clouds for ideas, boxes for actions, arrows to show relationships, and so on. You don't need artistic skills. Messy is fine. Clarity is the goal here. And one more unwritten rule: don't overthink it. Mind mapping works best when you allow ideas to flow first and organize later. Let's make this practical with an example. Imagine your topic is, how do I make my next training session as effective as possible? We write that in the center. Now, we draw the main branches based on the key elements we believe are essential for an effective training session, like objectives. In other words, what should participants be able to know, do, or demonstrate by the end of the session? Audience: who are the learners? Content: what information, concepts, frameworks, or examples will support the objectives? Engagement: how will you keep learners actively involved? Practice: where will learners apply what they've learned? And measurement: how will you know the training was effective? Now we define actions for each of these key elements. Under objectives, we add define 2-3 measurable learning outcomes, align objectives with the business goals, translate outcomes into observable behaviors. Under audience, we add assess prior knowledge level, identify motivation and expectations, adapt content to real job context. Under content, we could add select any essential concepts, include relevant real-world examples, structure content from simple to complex. Under engagement, we could add discussion prompts, or use interactive activities or polls, or integrate real-life scenarios. Under practice, we could add design hands-on exercises, include role plays or simulations, and provide structured reflection time. Finally, under measurement, we could add things like collect participant feedback, or evaluate performance improvement, or plan follow-up reinforcement actions. Within minutes, we have outlined the fundamental structure of the training session. No slides, no templates, just thinking made visible. And that's the power of mind mapping. It turns scattered thoughts into structured insights. Mind mapping isn't about being creative. It's about being clear. Whether you're designing, training, planning a project, solving a problem, or preparing a strategy, sometimes the best thinking tool is still a blank page. Let us know in the comments. Do you prefer digital mind maps, or are you a classic and would go for pen and paper? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
And basically, that's what mind mapping is. If you're a visual person like me, I love mind mapping. Mind mapping is just basically about clarity, knowing exactly what you're trying to accomplish, right? And again, it's something that you could use without AI. But as again, I'm going to emphasize, AI is a tool, right? All these systems that I introduced throughout the presentation, the SMART organization, the mind mapping to create clarity, batch processing to protect focus, and all the templates and to increase efficiency, and all of these things, when combined with AI, what I found, and a system, and the system I chose to use was Kanban, it makes your life goes easier. And what it does, it creates possibility. It creates the possibility for you to become this. Remember, we all know what a reality is in the previous slide, right? Reality is we feel majority of the time, 95% of the time, as we go through our daily workflow, like everybody needs something, and we can never actually get what we intended to do out effectively because of everybody interrupting our process, right? These tools help you to become the effective coordinator. And I only tell you this because these tools have worked for me. And as I move along, I'm going to tell you how it worked for me, right? So combined with AI and Kanban, if we make it about us, Make it personal, because as leaders and mentors and managers, whichever you want to consider yourself as, we must consider incorporating different strategy in our daily process, right? So a person's willingness to reflect, set your goals, and follow a structured plan often demonstrate their commitment to personal and professional growth. Yeah, D, whatever. All right, fine, cool. I'm gonna show you how it works. I implemented, along with all of these strategy, something called Kanban. What is Kanban? It better say by seeing it, because I'm visual again. I'm gonna trust technology to make me great one more time. All I'm asking you to do is make me great. Yes, technology is a tool. Keep that in mind. It's a tool. You're the actual engine. There we go. Let's learn a little bit about Kanban.
Kanban is a work management method that helps you visualize work, optimize your processes, and understand and manage risks in delivering your services to the customers. The idea of Kanban can be traced back to the late 1940s in the Toyota production factories, where it started as an inventory control system. As you may have guessed, the word Kanban comes from Japanese and means signboard or visual board. Back then, Japanese engineer Taiichi Ono first implemented Kanban to maximize manufacturing efficiency. The Kanban method as we know it today emerged in the beginning of the 21st century. Taking the principles from Toyota, key players from the knowledge work field realized how the Kanban concept could positively change the way products and services are delivered. Nowadays, the Kanban method is widely spread across various industries. There are 6 key principles that define the Kanban method, divided into 2 groups: change management and service delivery principles. The change management principles show you that Kanban is not a Big Bang transformation model, but rather an evolutionary change approach seeking to improve what is already in place. The service delivery principles encourage you to recognize your company as a network of interdependent services so you can understand how work flows through it. This approach will help you stay user-centered and understand your customers' needs and expectations. To support these principles, there are 6 key practices in Kanban. 1. Visualize the workflow. In knowledge work, often your work remains intangible or invisible. To improve the delivery process, Kanban urges you to visualize how work flows through your organization. 2. Limit work in progress. This practice encourages you to focus on finishing the work at hand before moving on to the next. WIP limits are key to establishing a pull system and help you ensure smooth workflow. 3. Manage flow. Once you have an understanding of your flow, it's time to optimize how work passes through it. This means uncovering impediments, visualizing and managing blockers, and reducing wasteful activities, helping you to complete work as smoothly and predictably as possible. 4. Make process policies explicit. It's hard to improve what you don't understand, so make your process policies explicit and set clear guidelines that teams need to follow to deliver value while maintaining a sustainable pace. 5. Implement feedback loops. Kanban relies on regular cadences to keep everybody in the organization aligned. From team to management meetings and reviews, feedback loops help you learn and adapt to changes on time. 6. Improve collaboratively, evolve experimentally. Kanban is a method for continuous improvement, and you have to make those improvements collaboratively using data-driven experiments. The evolutionary approach of Kanban helps you understand your organization's current strengths and avoid resistance. Let's move forward and see how to visualize your workflow. You can start by making a Kanban board. When looking at the board, you should be able to understand how work flows through your system. Use a Kanban board to map all the stages of your work process from beginning to end. This allows you to identify the weak spots of your workflow and take the necessary actions to eliminate them. Also, don't forget to use work in progress limits on your board. They balance your workflow, indicate available capacity and convert push into pull systems. Kanban boards can be built on whiteboards or walls. However, using digital platforms such as Kanbanize gives you unparalleled flexibility. In Kanban, work items are visualized as cards. Every Kanban card represents a single work item, where teams input details about the work at hand. A Kanban card can also contain information about who is responsible, when is its deadline, what is its priority, and many more. Once you've built your flow, it's time to measure it. Kanban teams do that with the help of lead time. This is the time it takes for a card to move through the entire workflow from requested to done. In other words, lead time is about how long it takes for a work item to reach the customer's hands. As a rule of thumb, the lesser your lead time is, the faster you can deliver value to your customers. However, is the Kanban method applicable to different use cases and industries? It sure is. Kanban is reportedly being successfully adopted throughout organizations in various industries, such as pharmaceutical, IT, financial services, engineering, and more. Researches, such as the State of Kanban, shows Kanban helps companies improve visibility of work, improve their delivery speed and predictability, align business objectives with day-to-day work, and increase customer satisfaction. Overall, the vast majority of companies indicate that the Kanban method is more effective than prior ways of working and managing work. We encourage you to start with what you do now and evolve gradually. Happy Kanbanizing!
Kanban is a principle that I use. And as I said before, no one shoes fits all. So the idea and the goal is to find that AI tool that works best for you. For me, Kanban is simple enough that make everything works out well. And as I said, I won't introduce you to you unless I use it. And I do. Kanban helps you provide clear visibility of your work, right? You have all your tasks that you have to do in one view, maybe on the board, depending on what you want to do. And since we're doing digital, we do have apps that help us do this. And I'm going to speak about that a little later and how you can make your life much easier. It also reduces multitasking, right? It limits that work in progress area. You know, every time you start something, you get interrupted, you forget about it, and it just falls in that on and then dump pile of things that you started and couldn't finish because you constantly being interrupted by your everyday demands of your program director, your residents, or even personal demands, right? It also monitors and ensures work efficiency, and also help with prioritization, accountability, and continuous improvement. So how do I combine all of this? Understanding the Kanban approach is similar to just having Post-its on your computer. It's similar to having your mind mapping, because why I introduced those things earlier is for clarity, right? Instead of juggling 10 tasks at once, you can use Kanban to focus on only 3 active tasks. And the Kanban board, which I'm going to let this explain to you how it looks, but it's mainly just like this. Your Kanban board could be like this. If you like old-fashioned, I'm a little bit of a mixture of old-fashioned and the digital world, you like to see it as well, you create a simple board. And that's what Kanban is. If you love your Post-it, you be a Post-it king or queen. That's me too. What I did was use my Post-it on my Kanban board. And as I go through the process of getting this task done, all I do is move it along the way. As residency coordinators, Kanban can be used as a visual workflow of management system to organize your responsibility and prioritize your urgent task. And because we're strapped for time, I'm going to go ahead and just play this a little bit to give you a visual, not only this beautiful character representation of me, but so I wanted to give you an idea of what the Kanban board looks like and how it actually works. It's a simple flow, yes.
A Kanban board is a work management tool that helps you visualize and optimize your workflow. Kanban boards bring clarity to your work process and help you understand how work flows through your system so you can be more efficient. Let's go into detail and explore the main elements of a Kanban board. Kanban boards can be broken down into 6 key components: columns, swim lanes, Kanban cards, commitment points, work in progress limits, and delivery points. Columns are the key building blocks of Kanban boards. They represent specific activities of your process, and together they form your workflow. To visualize work items across their boards, teams use Kanban cards. Each card contains information about the task, such as deadline, assignee, description, and more. Cards help teams get a clear overview of the current work and stay on the same page. And as Kanban is a pull system, the cards enter the flow from the left side. They move through the board and exit on the right, where value is delivered to customers. If you want your team to have a better understanding of the workflow, this is where you have to establish commitment and delivery points. A commitment point is basically an agreement that your team will deliver a certain request to the customer. On the other hand, the delivery point is where items are considered complete, or in other words, when the product or service is handed to the customer. It is important to know that the core metric in Kanban is lead time. This is the time it takes for a single work item to pass through the system from the commitment point to delivery point. Measuring lead time allows you to understand system behavior and identify opportunities for improvement. The next important element of a Kanban board is work in progress, or WIP limits. They limit the amount of work that is currently in progress, which prevents too much or too little work entering the system, consequently improving the flow of value. WIP limits help teams focus on finishing the current work items before moving on to the next. And last but not least, swim lanes. Swim lanes are horizontal lines that split a Kanban board into sections. Teams usually use them to visually separate different work types on the same board and organize similar tasks together. You can use swim lanes to differentiate the work of various individuals, teams, or classes of service, such as expedite, standard, or intangible work. All these key elements can help your team understand and manage risk in delivering your services or products. Ultimately, this will help you improve the flow of work. It is so easy to start with a physical Kanban board. You just need a whiteboard or a wall and a bunch of sticky notes. If you're new to Kanban, it may be worth trying out. In contrast, digital tools like Kanbanize offer great speed and flexibility. You can modify your boards in the blink of an eye, plus all the information is accessible from anywhere, making it the perfect solution for remote or distributed teams.
So I love the concept of Kanban. And the reason being, it helps me to keep track of the things that I have to do, the things that are work in progress. And it's the simplest tool as possible. It allows you to keep all of the things you love so much as your Post-its. And you could do a simple thing as you see there by creating it on a whiteboard. You could create it on your wall or whatever the Post-it will stick to. And all you're doing is moving it from one stage to the next. One of the things I find interesting when I use the Kanban board, what happens to me, it also identifies tasks that no longer serves me. Because majority of the times, I don't know about you, but who starts a task that's, of course, somebody requests of you to do. But then in the middle of it, before you even complete it, they no longer need it, right? It gives accountability. And it also gives you a visual outlook of what is in your process that is working for you and what is not. You also could monitor who has to do what with. If it's no longer your duty and you have done what your end of it, and now it's your program director is just waiting for your program director approval. So you can keep track of where in your process or where on your board your task is, right? The interesting about Kanban, once you complete the task, you remove it and you move on to the next. It eliminates interruptions too. You will use a Kanban board to prioritize what is important. So say, for example, somebody comes and mostly it's your program director, this is immediate and you have to do this now. You stop everything in your process. If it's really something that you have to do now, that now moves to the critical area of your Kanban board and you start that process. Everything else ceases. One of the things I will encourage you to do, stop acting like you can multitask. It sounds good, and yes, but truly you are not multitasking, right? Yes, you have the idea in your head, but until you complete one task, what you end up with is a bunch of tasks that you started with no completion at all. Prioritize your tasks instead of multitasking them. You might say, okay, fine, D, you gave me this, you give me tool, you show me Kanban. Well, how do I make it work? Make it practical. It's not rocket science. It's literally moving pieces of paper, or if you're a digital person, put it in the computer and let that do the work for you. It's literally identify where your work is and how you could effectively get it completed. Half of the work you could give to the computer to do, and your most strenuous, if you are someone who liked that paper, your most strenuous activity is just moving that Post-it from one column to the next. That's it, right? If you apply Kanban in your daily habits, right, you do like a morning check-in, and that morning check-in will look you coming in and you visualize in your board. Just see what is in progress, what you can take off of the board, or what you need to move up, or what you have accomplished, right? You capture all your incoming workflow on the board. You can move it to whatever it is. If it's in the to-do phase, it's there. The work in progress phase, or you're waiting for someone to do their part. Or if the task is completed, it's just a check off the box. You can use Copilot, and that's the designated AI tool here at SUNY. Copilot is one of those things you can use for the Kanban process, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. Or Gemini to draft your emails. You could do that. That also goes in the Kanban process too. Do policies or presentation or even meeting minutes. It could help you do that. You could track it, your deadlines and your accreditation milestones. We have a couple of apps that help you do that. And you have Trello is one. I only put the two that I like. Trello is a simple one here, and ClickUp. Don't worry, you don't have to write it down. I'm going to show you in a few just a breakdown of all the apps that are available to your disposal and how you can use it. I love ClickUp. ClickUp, if you know what kind of personality you have, if you're a type A personality and you love the list and everything break down in the various stages, ClickUp is wonderful for that. Okay, I encouraging you to review your board daily. And reason being for that, you do not want a lot of your workflow to be in that in progress stage, right? That mind mapping that we mentioned before helps you to clearly define what you're trying to accomplish. And that's very critical in your process and using Kanban. And that time management section, what you're going to do is you're going to set a deadline and a date to accomplish these tasks and make it realistic, something that you can actually do, right? And then you can measure your productivity. If you're going to use a digital tool, you could measure that. Sites like Trello and ClickUp will basically give you, at the end of the week, a metric that shows you the amount of email responses you were done in and the amount of time you were able to do that. And you can measure it to see if Kanban will really help you get to where you need to go. It will also track the number of tasks you complete per week and document your turnaround time. It does that as well. And the percentage of deadlines you met. It gives you an idea if your system that you're currently using is efficient or not. And it will help you identify the changes that you can make. You ask, D, then where do I start? Now you give me this, you give me more work. Where do I start? I want to know how I could implement this in my daily life. Remember, the first thing I said before, everything is, it has to be personal first before it becomes professional. It has to be personal. So what am I going to do? Because a lot of the time, transformation doesn't really begin with just major changes of any kind, right? Efficiency is personal. Everything that we do is managed around your energy and your task and your relationship, as I said earlier. Transformation normally begins with a decision. So what I want you to do at this time is to decide whether you're willing to change. And not just change, but remember, as I mentioned earlier, I want you to evolve. If you see any area that you need to evolve or you would like to evolve, then we're going to move along and you're going to participate in this little exercise. In your swag bag, you have 2 books. You could choose any one of them. And you do have a pen, and I'm going to ask you to just bring that out. We're just going to go through this step real quickly. Because what I've seen while I was doing this research, one of the greatest predictors of success is having written goals and a plan for how you're going to achieve them. Or you could use the Post-its that's also in there. So this exercise has been used successfully by a lot of leaders, entrepreneurs, and professionals to transform your idea into measurable outcomes. So today we're going to use the exercise to begin our process to success of personal and professional development. Right? If we got our book out, we're going to use those envelopes as well, but it's later on. But let us start this process right now. Now that you have your book out, the first thing I want you to do, right, is on top of it, you're going to write the word goals and you're going to put today's date. Once you have done that, we are going to think about goals that we want to accomplish within the next 3 to 12 months. We're making it realistic then. And I want you to just think broadly. It doesn't have to be career-wise. It could be about career, yes. It could be something professional. Maybe it could be like, professional certificate. Think about it. It could be something personal. It could be your family, education, maybe health and wellness, maybe financial, leadership development. It doesn't matter. Think about these goals that you would like to accomplish in the next 3 to 6 months or 12 months. To make it more, you can make it 12 months. For some of them will take you around 12 months. And as I said before, this is something that I did myself, right? When you write in these goals, I want you to write the goals in present tense. I own my home. Just for example, I have my dream car. If that's what's in your mindset. I'm TAGME certified. That's another one. I saved $20,000. I don't know about you, but if you can, give the sister some tips. Oh, I present at a conference. It doesn't matter. Make sure you write these goals in the present tense. Jot down 5 of them. I don't want to make it long. Just jot down 5. Everything must be done in the present tense. Why? Writing in the present tense helps you to shift your thinking, right? You change it from wishing or believing, you change it from wishing to believe in, right? And you focus your attention on the actions needed to achieve them. The idea is when you think, whatever you think, you normally become, right? Whatever you feel, that's what you act upon. And whatever you imagine, you accomplish. And this is the goal behind, or this is the reason you're going to write this in present tense. Now, imagine if you have completed that, if you're up to number 3 or 5, it doesn't matter. Imagine you have a magic wand, right? Now look at your list. If you could accomplish just one of these goals within the next 24 hours, which one of the goals will make the greatest positive impact on your life? It's your list. You could tell. Normally, it will just pop out to you once you look at your list. And once you identify that thing, I'm going to ask you to circle it. Now that we have that primary goal, we're going to transfer that on a clean sheet of paper. So just flip over the other side, and the only thing you're going to write on that paper is that one goal you circle. Everything else now becomes secondary. So now you move this one goal to that urgent part of your Kanban board, correct? Right. So we're going to move through this process. Now, with that one goal, I want you, after you write your goal and you state it clearly, be specific, I'm going to ask you to give it a completion date and a realistic one. Something realistic that you think that you can accomplish this goal within that time frame. Give it a real, it could be 3 months from now, it could be 6 months from now. Make it realistic. Because one of the driving force behind your goals is if it's actually, you really can attain it in a certain period of time, right? If you make this goal so big, it seems unattainable, and then you never really hold yourself accountable of doing something or even trying to move forward and accomplish it. And this is how our goals falls in the background or on the back burner, if you will. So once you choose your goal, I also want you to think about everything that you have to do to accomplish this goal. It doesn't have to be in any order. Just think about it. Everything that you're going to have to do to accomplish this goal. Maybe you have to go now and get a book, or maybe you have to learn a new skill. It doesn't matter. Everything that you could possibly think about that you're going to need, all the resources that you're going to need to accomplish this one goal. Maybe it's money, who knows? It doesn't matter. This is between you and your goal, not everyone else. One shoes don't fit everyone. This exercise is tailored to you. And once you do that, right, I want you to arrange, you're going to arrange, and this could be in the future, you don't have to do it now, all of these things that you said you're going to need to accomplish this goal, you're going to arrange it in order. And this is where AI comes in. And trust me, AI is good as a tool to help the thinking process for you. Once you have your goal down, you could plug this into any of the AI apps that is available, and we're going to talk about that to you. And it will break down step by step how you're going to accomplish your goal. And then what I want you to do, and this has been proven over every industry, is to take action. You see, the idea is, if you start today completing just one item off that list, you're one step closer to having that goal accomplished. And this is where you are going to implement Kanban. You're going to complete one item. Now your goal has been moved into the in progress section, right? So now you're working on it. If you do something every single day from this day forward, your goal is guaranteed to be achievable. All you have to do is one thing every single day towards this goal. And it's a guarantee system. You will achieve every single goal you set out for yourself. And all that's needed is just one thing every day. And as you go along, yes, you can adjust your plan accordingly. Make it personal. As I said before, we're going to use AI as a tool. Because what we don't realize is AI, this mighty AI thing, is just a tool. You are the brain behind it. Majority of the times we feel like, oh, AI is taking over, it's going to do. No. Consider AI as a tool. If you don't have the imagery or an idea, AI is not going to spit out just anything. You're going to have to ask it something first, right? All it's there for you to do is to help you get that something that you want done, show you a more effective way, if you will, or just make your life easier. So now you don't have to research. AI will do that for you. So there's a couple of apps that works well with Kanban that will help you when you put in these goals in these apps. It will help you get these things done. Of course, we know that Microsoft Copilot and all of these that I'm telling you, it's free, right? For Microsoft Copilot, of course, we could use it to draft our documents if you're not using it already, and majority of us is doing that. You use it to analyze information and work on the Microsoft Office workflows. You have ChatGPT, if you love that, and all of your imagery you see here is courtesy of ChatGPT. I put into it my information, tell it what I want, and ChatGPT spit out those beautiful images of myself or whoever it consider me to be. It spit that out for me, right? You could also use Google Gemini, and this is so good. It helps you summarize documents. I love Google Gemini. It also helps you to brainstorm ideas. Remember, the ideas begin with you. And using these tools will move it along. Canva. For this one, I didn't use Canva, but Canva is so good in presentation. Why try to figure out how to make your presentation work for you or making it graphically aesthetic and so forth when you have these tools can do that to eliminate the word process. All you have to do is to organize it and know what you're talking about, right? And Canva, I feel, is so good for that. And there's a free version of that as well. And then you have Notebook LM, and that is also free. Remember, I'm not telling you to go and be expert in any of these. Try them out and see which one fits you. No one's shoes fit each one of us. Some of us will find some of this complicated, and then there's some of us will find it easier. One program for you. Try it out and just see what happens. There's also other free AI programs that you can use to help you along this process. And all of these programs works well with Kanban. Trello, is it free? Yes. It gives you a simple Kanban board and where you could track your task and you could collaborate with each of your tasks that you have there, right? The AI features are available with limited access, but you do have a free access version of it. And so on Notion, it's also free. This works good too if you want to put your personal accomplishments in there, as long as you're professional. In hand, I find Notion works well with that. But again, it's for you to try and to see which one best suits you. It helps well with personal productivity, with notes and project and knowledge-based activities. And then, of course, there's Microsoft. I'm not quite sure if we are able here at Downstate or if you have Microsoft Office at your job. I don't know if this is free to you, but they have the Microsoft Planner, the basic version. And if it's free, use it. It helps a lot. It put a lot of things in light, and then, of course, you have your trusty Copilot that is there too. This one, it have plans that you may have to pay for, but if you don't want to pay for it, no problem. There's other free options. And then ClickUp, my baby. I love ClickUp. ClickUp, let's go back a little bit. ClickUp is free. I use the free version, right? But it also have the pay-assisted AI version. I don't pay too much attention to this because you can always use Microsoft Copilot or ChatGPT to do the AI portion of your job and just plug it into ClickUp, right? The Kanban version with ClickUp is free. It makes it visually aesthetic, and you could also categorize and color your task regardless of urgency, whichever color you choose. You could do that with ClickUp. It is good for complex project management. As I said, I'm a type A. I love to break down everything and every step and check and check and check. Maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you have like I organized chaos thing going along, or ClickUp will help you get that together. And then, of course, we have the Kanban flow. There's no AI in that. And if you're not a friend of AI, you don't want to use it as a tool, that's okay too. You can use the Kanban flow instead of having those post-its sticking from one place to the other. The Kanban flow, which is free, will help you move things along just the same. And here's a couple more. They have Todoist, MeisterTask, Asana, GitHub, projects, and Miro. All of these AI tools are free, and all of these work with Kanban. You can apply that simple step from moving your work or your task from one point to the other and making it measurable, and keep yourself accountable for the scheduled deadlines you have. Now, we're coming to the end of our journey. If you don't hear anything I say, I need you to understand that successful people rarely achieve their extraordinary result by accident. Every successful person have a plan, right? I'm not telling you it's always going to be a success, but they started out with a plan, right? They normally write their goals down, prioritize what matters, and that's important. Everything is not a priority. You have to know what task that has urgency or immediate for you to accomplish. Success is really determined by only talent alone. You could have the talent, but if you don't know how to organize your talent, or if you don't know how to implement it, it wouldn't matter, right? It is achieved by determination of how you intentionally manage your time, because every healthy habit, every professional achievement, every personal milestone, and every meaningful life experience is built on one well-spent hour at a time. And the only way you could really maximize your hours if you have a plan to do so, right? And then time management is just not only a productivity skill. It bridges between where you are today and the life you're capable of creating tomorrow. So if you take away anything, take away that AI is a tool and could be your partner in success. It makes your life easier. Make whatever goal you have clear, because clarity creates focus, focus creates action, and actions creates results. Use what works. Don't try to create the wheel. That's not your task. Your task is to make your life easier. And the only way that you do that, use what other people you do now. It works. 87% is a big gap, if you ask me, in your goal to success, your journey to success. And all you have to do at this point forward, since you're going to take your initial step towards whatever you choose to do, is keep moving forward every single day. You're going to do one thing every single day and keep moving forward. All right, Dee, you say all of this. Yes, it's a lot of information, a lot you have to do. It's a good thing that I made the PowerPoint. You can have it afterwards and you can make it what you will after you live this and it's live and they're recording and you can listen to me again. But the only way this thing is going to work for you is if you map your success. Map it. The future self. Majority of you probably wondering, why is Matthew McConaughey up here? Here's a reason, I promise. The future self is a concept that was introduced to me and most of the world by, I wouldn't say most of the world, but some people that was just happening to watch the 86 Academy Awards when after Matthew won the award, he was thanking his co-stars and his family. And then he went on to his speech and he said, there's 3 things you need every day, right? He said, number 1, something to look up to. The second, something to look forward to, and then someone to chase. And his answer to the something to look up to was God, because he's a spiritual person. And then something to look forward to, his answer was family. But what took my interest is the someone to chase. And for that, he said his future self. And I'm like, what? Like everybody else, like, future self. So in the interview, they asked him, what do you mean, your future self? And he went on to explain that someone asked him one time while interviewing that, who's your hero when he was 15? And he said, me 10 years from now. And then when he got to 25, in another interview, they said, okay, so who's your hero now? Because he have accomplished so much at 25. he to himself, after evaluating, was like, it's not enough. I guess me at 35. And then he find himself constantly doing that. And he patterned this to always setting a goal for 10 years from now. He wants to be better. His future self should be constantly be evolving, right? And the mindset he explained is that he keeps him somehow grounded and somehow in a humility state, always chasing after and improving himself, striving to be better 10 years from now. So this resonates to me because what it pointed out to me is that greatness is a process and it's not so much of a destination. It's how do you get there, right? And if you think about it, vision drives action. So if you could see it or you think it or you believe you could do it, if you put action to it, you see, if you have a clear vision of what your future self is, it will fuel your daily effort because you're always working towards your future self, right? And then self-leadership is a choice. I could say a whole bunch of things today. I could give you all these tools that you to use, but if you don't choose to implement them, it goes nowhere. Right? One or two of you might choose to implement these, and it will take you to places that you've never been before, of course, because you didn't have this in your life before. But self-leadership, it begins with you, and you must make a choice. It means choosing to pursue the person you want to become, even if that person is still years away. Your journey is yours. So Matthew McConaughey, future self version, at the end of it, when they asked him, so what is the key to this? Because you seem to have this down pat. And his answer was a clear face, just keep on living. And I was like, that is just awesome. So what I did, I always talk about my 2% approach. That Matthew resonated with me, but then I made it applicable to me because you remember I tell you not one shoes don't fit all, right? So you have to make it about you. So it resonated with me and I decided, you know what? I'm going to implement this 2% approach. And my 2% approach is just making your changes in microdoses. And what does that mean? I strive every day to be 2% better than I was yesterday. And that's it. Small changes. If I implement these, I realize that work for me. I implement these small changes every single day, then it becomes habit. And then now I don't even realize it. I do it the same thing every single day, but it works. Your journey is your own, right? I want you, the next step, when you ask your envelope in your swag bag, take that out. And this is what I want you to do. I'm going to ask you to just write a letter to your future self. For that same goal that you wrote in that book, here is how it's going to be applicable. If your goal is within 3 months from now, I hope you did make it 3 months from now, because you're going to do something, it doesn't matter. And on your little letter, here's what your letter going to sound like. You could say, "Dear future me." You could put your name, whatever is suitable for you. And you're going to take today as your initial point. It doesn't matter what you put in your letter. This is for you and your eyes only. And you're going to congratulate yourself for taking the first step to becoming who you are 3 months from now. Whatever message you want to put in there, it's up to you. But make sure you celebrate you in that message. It doesn't matter 3 months from now if you accomplish anything, but it matters if you do something or even try. This letter to your future self is going to serve as your motivator, or a reminder, if you will. Now, as you write this letter to your future self, right, and you can take a moment to do that. You don't have to finish it, but I would really love you to finish it before the end of this conference. On your envelope, I need you to, if you're a downstate coordinator, to just write your mail stop code on it, and we're going to seal that envelope and we're going to give it back to us, because what we're going to do 3 months from now, we're going to mail that envelope to you. And that's going to be your message to yourself, right? Be honest and make it as meaningful as possible, because the best encouragement comes from you. At the end of the day, no one cares about your success but you, and this is how it's supposed to be, right? Yes, you could have people who cheer you on, and there's very normal. It's also normal, and it's a beautiful thing. But your success and the first step depends on you and who you want to become in the future. And if you're still doing your letter, keep in mind it's not a performance evaluation. It's not another task to be completed, but instead it's a promise to remain intentional about your personal and professional growth. Whether it be 1 year, 2 months, or in this instance, 3 months from now, success may look different from each and every one of us here. But every lesson you learn, every boundaries that you establish, every challenge you overcome, and every step you step forward will be evidence that you chose to not only change, but to evolve. And that choice you make today. And with that said, I'm just going to ask you to take a moment to give yourself a round of applause and a standing ovation. For not only making the decision to change your life and evolve today, but also for sitting for what, almost an hour or maybe an hour or more listening to my voice and watching technology do me the best it can, disappoint me over and over. At this time, I want to take a moment for those of you who have questions. Any questions? If time permits, I think it does. We're going to try our best. And I'll now open the floor for questions. No questions? Remember, the only bad questions is the one you're hoping someone else asks. Oh, we do have one? Now, he said, what is the difference between a goal and a dream? To me, it goes hand in hand. Your dream, right? And this is just me paraphrasing in my opinion. Your dream, whatever it is be, maybe you want to be a millionaire by the time you're 23. You look as very young. So maybe you want to be a millionaire by the time you're 23. That's your dream, right? Your goals is a step you're going to take to get to that outcome of your dream. So in order to accomplish your dream, you must have a way to get there, right? And each step in your journey, that's your goal, is going to get you closer to that dream. And that to me is the difference between a goal and a dream. What I want you to focus on, if anything, at the end of this session, at the end of this series, is to focus on accomplishing those goals so you could accomplish at the end of the day those dreams. All right? With that said, thank you guys so much for joining me. Hopefully, the stuff that I presented is good. At this time, please continue to finish writing your letters, and we're going to go around and collect them when you're through. And for those of you outside of Downstate, please put your address that we can mail these letters out to you.
Wasn't that an outstanding presentation?
So one of the greatest strengths of the RPSC is that we don't simply work alongside one another, we learn from one another as well, right? So our RPCF committees are truly the heartbeat of our organization. So everything you see you're going to see here is a result of coordinators, just like you and I, right, and their work and the communities they're a part of. Behind every successful retreat or event or professional development opportunities, whether it's a newsletter or a wellness initiative, there's a dedicated community, comedy, why am I tripping up now? There's a dedicated set of volunteers working tirelessly behind the scenes, right? So today we'll hear updates from the incredible leaders who will continue to move this organization forward. So I guess I'm going to go first. The Professional Development Committee. Well, this year I'm the chair of the committee. This position is 1 year. We try to rotate it to give everyone an opportunity to participate. Our professional development committee consists of 6 individuals. At this time, I'll ask you to just stand up so people can see if you're here. We have me, of course, and then there's Selena Adams, Dr. Green, Viola Glasgow. I'm not sure if you're here. Oh, Viola's here. And we have Natasha Henry. Natasha is not here. She's online. She's a part of the group too. Velda Jones. I think there's Velda over there. And of course, Takia Swaby. Now, these are the members in the Professional Development Committee, right? In our Professional Development Committee here at Downstate, our goal is to help our program coordinators development professionally. It is what it says. It's a professional development committee. However, what we're focusing on now in our committee is TAGME, but our upcoming events throughout this year and next year until we meet again, we are hoping to start a leadership academy. And this academy will be geared on teaching coordinators or guiding or helping coordinators to be leaders. We also want to help you, not only from at this stage, the little exercise you do, we want to go in depth with it and help you create a personal or professional roadmap. And it's just assisting the coordinators, helping you decide what or where you want to be 10 years from now, 3 months from now, or whatever. It doesn't matter. But with help from the Professional Development Committee and your fellow coordinators, our goal is to help you get there. And through that, we're going to implement the buddy growth system. And what is that? Our intention is to group people together with like minds, right? Sometimes if you're tackling your goals or your effort by yourself, oftentimes you tend to fall off. But if you have a buddy that will help you keep you accountable, oftentimes we see that you're able to keep on track to achieving your goal. Next up, Professional Development Committee is responsible for TAGME certification. We encourage all of our program coordinators to be TAGME certified. We did a short series over the last, I think, 3 months or 2 months, because I think about 5 coordinators from Downstate will be taking the exam this year. So we kicked off our training session this year. I'm going through the materials that will be tested on TAGME and also offering our coordinators who will be taking it this year few questions and so forth in order to encourage them and help them as they study for the TAGME exam. What we intend to do in the upcoming future is to do this on a long-term basis. We're hoping to kick off our first session again in October. And this is going to be, we do it for an hour and all is welcome. If you want to join, you could contact me or any of the ladies that was listed on the board. Just send us an email to let us know that you're interested into doing our TAGME class, and we'll go through it with you. It's a series of PowerPoint and also quizzes at the end just to keep your mind going and to help you. All of the materials that we use will be given to you at the end of the session, and you will have access to all of the materials to prepare you for your TAGME future, right? And basically, this is the phase of TAGME that we go through. Because we're starting off later this year, I think we're starting off October. Basically, all of this phase is what you go through. We have 3 phases of the TAGME process that we'll be going through. So if you're interested, bear in mind that the Professional Development Committee is there and we are available for you.
I am going to be really, really quickly. We have the membership engagement committee, which we kind of are the team that puts together our newsletters that you guys get quarterly. We try to stay on task with every 3 months. Sometimes we're a little bit late, but this is the committee that provides those newsletters. So if there's anything that you want to see in the newsletters, if there's anything that you want to add, please shoot us an email or shoot me an email and we could kind of get that in there. We also gather information for the website. We do have to update our website, so we are working on that currently as well. Anyone interested in joining this committee, we do have a QR code for all the committees at the very end that we'll be able to provide you all with.
Thank you. Just gonna read mine. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the Wellness Committee members, Dr. Dresner, Natalie, Arrindell, Dr. Green, Maria Verna Sevilla, Michaela Tamani, Dr. Williams, and myself, our mission is to promote and encourage wellness initiatives towards a healthy work-life balance to reduce stress, burnout, overwhelmness, and stress among our coordinators, administrators, and staff members. Similarly, with GME residents, faculty, and faculty, we promote wellness and encourage and hope for you to take part in some of our wellness initiatives, including monthly meetings, fun and games, yoga and relaxation sessions, wellness activities, monthly communication, and future initiatives such as monthly potlucks, massage Mondays, I made that up, and more, such as we're collaborating with COM for future initiatives. All those are geared toward promoting wellness and reducing stress and build a healthy and thriving workplace and community and also personal well-being. Our wellness resources include the Downstate Employee Assistant Program, EAP, our wellness or RPCF well-being toolkit, personal resources, and professional and certified wellness coaches for mind and body. So as we support our residents, our PDs, and faculty who ultimately care for our patients, let us take care of ourselves and invest in our well-being. I'll leave everyone with this little blurb that really resonated with me. And it says, never find yourself so busy making a life that you cannot find yourself making a healthy life. All right, and I'll leave you with that. We hope you join us.
So please participate if you can. We encourage all of you to do so. I want to thank you guys for that. And if you ever wondered where all the great ideas come from, they usually start with one committee meeting and then one determined program coordinator to get things done. And if you didn't hear Dr. Green, if any one of you interested in joining, just scan the QR code there and we will contact you accordingly.
Our next speaker really doesn't need an introduction. They say that experience is one of the greatest teachers. Our keynote speaker has dedicated her career to graduate medical education, developing physicians, strengthening residency education, and mentoring countless faculty and coordinators. Dr. Lisa Dresner is the designated institutional official for SUNY Downstate. She's also the Associate Professor of Surgery and Vice Chair for Surgical Education. She's a native of Queens, New York, received her bachelor's from Cornell and her MD degree from SUNY. She spent 7 years as surgical resident at SUNY Downstate and Kings County, including 2 years of research fellowship. She then completed a fellowship in surgical critical care at Jackson's Memorial Hospital. Dr. Dresner became the designated institutional official in September 2023 after a long tenure as program director for the surgery residency program at SUNY Downstate and 4 years as associate assistant DIO. Dr. Dresner.
Morning. Thank you so much for coming. Great. Using AI tools every day and using it to make your lives easier and better. And I like to think about what's your why. Like what you like about this job isn't sending emails and isn't putting names on a list and checking things off. Your why is talking to the residents, making sure people are getting their stuff done, and getting your personal stuff done, getting your job done so you're not stressed. And I'm going to go over how many of these tools, as I'm writing the talk, I said, okay, let's show you how to do this. Let's show you how to do this. And I took screenshots. I want to apologize that it's not like real time because it can be very awkward to do it real time depending on the AI agent. The other thing you're going to see is I tried to use Copilot as much as possible since we have free access to Copilot. Okay. Our goal is to building smarter, more resilient, one tool at a time. Okay, where we're headed. Innovation in GME is no longer optional, and you can do this. This is building your program for the future so your day-to-day is the easiest and most efficient. I'm going to leave this open for questions at the end. I want you to think about before and after AI, what you can use AI to do. Writing minutes, copying, listening to minutes, forget that. Listening to minutes, transcribing minutes, putting them into a template, okay? 45 minutes is an underestimate, okay? You can do this in 5 to 10 minutes, easy peasy, okay? Writing an email. People write you these emails. Especially if you want to make sure it says exactly what you want, run it through an AI bot, shorten the amount of time it takes to compose it. This is your ideas. This is what you want to say, but letting someone else help you compose it. For me, hardest part of writing an email is the writer's block, thinking about what I want to say. Once I know what I want to say, then I have to make sure that it says exactly. I can now check it and do it faster. Making dashboards, something that would take days can take minutes. Summarizing policies, rewriting policies, checking policies, making sure that it says what it wants to say, looking up the rules. All of these can take minutes. Okay, so I'm getting my stuff done, and how is this change really gonna make my life better? It really, really is. And I want you to think about just starting. When you're about to do a project, try it, and before you do this, how can I do it with my Copilot, or how can I do it with AI? We're going to talk about the toolkit you have, conversational AI, and the AI bots that you have, Copilot, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini. They all are conversational. You have a conversation with it. You upload a file, you tell them what you want it to do. You can say, and I've done this, I want to create a toolkit, or I'm interested in giving a talk on this topic. Can you pull 5 references for me and give me an outline? It will do it for you in a minute. Okay, then you can build the project. It's your project. You just had a research assistant doing the start for you. Okay, think about and organize it in a meaningful way for you. Embedded AI, you have Copilot embedded inside Outlook. We don't yet have it in Excel and Word. It's coming, but we only have a basic thing, unless you have your own personal stuff. Meeting and documentation, ambient scribes, we're going to talk about that and how it's a hazard or a plus for our residents and physicians, and how you can use it with different data tools and help you figure out what's going on in your program. So you can use it for first drafts of policies. Remember, not the final draft. You have to put your own, you have to look at it. That is the key. You cannot depend on this to do your work for you. This is a tool to help you do your work. It's like having a dictionary, but it's built in. It's like think back when we started using word processors, we didn't have spell checks. All of a sudden we have spell checks. Now, every spelling mistake, you just right click on it and it fixes it. Or you can set it up, it'll fix it itself. I actually think it's better to right click so you know you're actually getting the correct words. So think about that little bit and how much it saved you. Think about before word processors where you type letters over and over and over again, and somebody makes some faculty member would change 2 words and you'd have to retype it. We don't have to do that anymore. So those things improved your life. This will improve your life as well. You can summarize, I'm going to show you how to summarize a dense policy into something easy to understand. Not just for you, but we send things to residents and faculty all the time that are like, send this policy. What the hell is it? And we'll talk about it. And brainstorming, it's a brainstorming partner for curriculum ideas, how to give a talk, how I need to teach this, what resources are there, asking it how to do something that you don't know how to do. Early drafts of accreditation narratives. Remember, always review it yourself. You know, they make mistakes, and having a conversation with it so that it's meeting your goals is key. We talked about a little bit about Copilot, and there already is a lot built into Word and PowerPoint, in terms PowerPoint especially in making pretty slides. But there are other apps you can use until we get all of Copilot. Okay, so this is the first thing is if you've never used Copilot, you could see in the top corner that little funny multicolor thing. All you do is click on it. And I'm showing you this in Outlook because that's where we have access to it. You can open Copilot as a desktop. It works, but doesn't work as well. And you have it right here, ready every day. You're opening in Outlook. So here, first thing, someone send me, I hate these, by the way. Please send me calendar invites. People remind you about something, telling you about a meeting. Okay, but Copilot will usually, it didn't work yesterday, but usually we'll put it in your calendar for you, which saves you a lot of time, right? Because you have one screen open. Okay, then you have to open your calendar, but you have to pop this out. Otherwise, you're not going to have all the data. You want to copy all the data and put it in the right date. You can imagine this would be faster. While it's doing that, you can do something else. Here's an example of summarizing email. So we got this email. I got this email this happened to be from Audio, which is a DI organization, about the USMLE is moving to specific dates and how people, so I asked it to summarize it and the implications, and it did in a minute. Now I have to meet with the program directors and talk about it and make sure people know the dates, because all the residents are going to want to take step 3 on the same date in May, because they have, but except we want to have it, so we have to talk about it. You can help you give a draft on anything. So here, this was not for anything specific. I uploaded my CV and asked it to write a paragraph why I want to be a DIO. Now, this may not be exactly how I would write an application, but it's a start. And we have to fill out these forms all the time with all sorts of nonsense. What that doesn't have any meaning. Why not start with this? Like I would, if in the before AI, I would stare at the paragraph. I don't know. How do I want to do this? It would take me a lot of time to think about what to put in it. Okay, you gave me a draft. I can have a conversation now and redo it, but I'm showing you, this is the prompt where I went through it. I said, no, make it more concise and add a close. I don't think we got to the closing. I hope to strengthen the clinical learning environment, supports the trainee success and well-being. Pretty good, right? Now, I wrote this in ChatGPT. Since I use ChatGPT, been using it before we had Copilot, ChatGPT knows me. They know I'm a DIO. They know, but I did upload my CV. They know what I do, and it interacts with me, okay? Now, if it creeps you out, I'm sorry, don't use it. Don't log in and use a free version. Anyway, using AI, this is I did this, and I sent you, everybody got this policy to send to everyone. Did anybody look at this policy? It's dense. What the hell does it mean? Right? But, so we can do our job, oh yeah, I don't need to really care. Do we really care what they know? Yeah, no, actually we do. So how do we actually update people on this policy? So took 1 minute, upload the policy. I asked it for a summary, executive summary, right? Okay, pulled out what it means for residents. Remember the prompt, not for just in general. You want to do it for your audience. So we'll change the prompt. If you wanted this for hospital administrators or compliance people, it would say something different. But here, what was in this policy and what residents need to know. So then I asked it for a checklist. Okay, this is even more meaningful, right? What do I need to know in bullet points, right? So if I was the program director, I might want to present this at a meeting, at a conference, like at my weekly update, whatever. So I went to Gamma.app, uploaded the policy and said, write 5 slides. Okay? Generate a 5-slide, the prompt was generate a 5-slide presentation to update residents and students on AI to present at our next conference. One of it was wasted on a title. Right? You want to be really obnoxious? You can generate a quiz. Make sure everybody really knows. On something that's really important, you might want to prove that they know and make sure that they know. I promise you, I had written the outline for this talk and filled in these things in one evening, which meant each of these tasks took 5 minutes. Okay? We're talking about my brain communicating with the different AI bots and then taking screenshots and putting it on here. Okay? So this was not a long, laborious task. Okay. So we can use our AI to do our jobs better in less time. This took no time, and we did it better. AI meeting assistants and ambient documentation. This is about scribes, committee meetings. There are a whole bunch of them. Remember, everyone needs to make sure everyone in the room knows there's ambient AI happening. It's also true when you walk into a patient's room. We're going to talk about it with residents. So in clinical settings, this is a big new topic. So there are 2 free tools, and it's now more and more being embedded into EMRs. So we need to figure out a way to train the residents and medical students so that they could actually still write notes and histories and physicals. However, when they walk into a room, they're supposed to ask the patient, tell the patient, I'm going to be using an ambient AI. This transcription will never go anywhere, just the data from it, the information we gather. This is great for a physician because instead of sitting there and writing notes or typing into screens, you just talk to the patient. And literally, you talk to the patient and it's transcribed and converted into a note. Now, there are some hazards, and I wrote them here. I thought about it. There is issues. Part of it, when you talk to a patient and you write down the note, that's one way you organize in your head the clinical findings to come up with a differential diagnosis and help figure out what to do with the patient. The other issues have to do with learning to sort out important from non-important details. AI bots are not as good at as I am, right? It's easy to not review, and if you're in a rush, you could just copy and paste it into the EMR and then you're done. But it might have extraneous information or irrelevant information or lead the next reader to a wrong conclusion. There are issues with physicians' accents and languages and things like that, and all sorts of HIPAA issues. And the big issue is how do we educate residents and trainees to not depend on this exclusively. To, you know, you can imagine like if they don't know how to write a history and physical, if they don't how to write a SOAP note, what did we gain? Okay. And this is what open evidence. So open evidence is one of the free tools. All you need is an MPI number. The other is Doximity, also free, where you can put this, press your button, put it in your pocket. It's collecting the data, and you open another you open you open a screen, and there will be the transcribed note. You can actually create templates that you like yourself, and it will enter the information from the visit right into the template. It's brilliant, but as I said, it has hazards. Creating meeting minutes. I want to let everybody know that Zoom transcripts are in a weird, some sort of weird text format. Transfer them into a PowerPoint, PDF. So AI bots work really well with Word and with PowerPoint, with PDFs. Not PDFs that are scanned, PDFs that are generated electronically. If they're scanned, it has to be OCR'd first, and it will do it, but there are more likely to be errors. So upload it as a PDF, and ask it to generate minutes, and it will do it. Looks pretty good. This is from the meeting that the program directors work group that I had, and I only uploaded the transcript in PDF form. Here you can create, you know how I highly recommend templates for minute meetings, because that way you always have the same format, right? So here I took the minutes, and had it fill out the form. And this is the Word form, and that's the minutes as per the way we do GMEC minutes. That's actually a work group, subcommittee minutes. And here it is filled out in a minute. In a minute, okay? So it's a lot, there's a lot to be said. You create a template and you ask the AI agent to enter the data it knows enough. It did require copying onto my letterhead. It's okay. Didn't take much. Policy writing. So there's something called Gemini Notebook. Gemini Notebook is, I actually think it's a great way to study. You can create a notebook and it's sort of creating your own GPT. And you can do this in other AI bot agents, but Gemini set it up exactly, where you create a notebook and you put only the things you want the AI agent to look at. So we would put, I haven't updated it. These are last year's ACGME policies. You update all the ACGME policies, then you can ask the AI Gemini, hey, is this, ask a question about policies, or you can ask it to compare our policy to ACGME policy, or you could ask it to write a policy. I don't recommend it writing the policy because it's not in your format. It's not going to have the flavor of your policies, but you can take your policy, upload it, and ask it, tell me what's missing. And then when it tells you what's missing, you can say, okay, rewrite it. And it will generate a policy for you. Then you need to go over it line by line and make sure it matches what you want, right? Because it doesn't always know the intent or what your brain is thinking. But instead of a day rewriting a policy, this is 10 minutes. Workflow and dashboards, real-time dashboards. So dashboards are a really cool thing that generally take a lot of time to sort out, right? So I put this out of order. Can you AI send emails for us? No, not yet. There probably are a few. I'm not sure we want it. I'm not sure we want it. I think you want to be in control of what goes out in your name. right? So here's the answer is not really. So there is something that we do have access to Power Automate. This is a little complicated, but it has GPT, it has Copilot in it. And the idea is that you can actually automate your data in collecting your data and creating dashboards. This is more than a 1-minute learning episode. So it's something that I plan on working on, but I want to show you what you can do without spending a lot of effort. You can create your own interactive dashboard. So dashboard's just a page of charts that's updated when the data changes. Normally you need to know how to code. Copilot will do the heavy lifting. And this is the instructions. Copilot will give you a file, and it's usually in HTML. And then you download it to your computer or open it in a browser. And it'll be a beautiful web page. And I want to show you one I created. So I did this happened to be in Claude, because we don't have access to Copilot in Excel. And I uploaded 3 years of milestones for the surgery program. I just chose it because I use surgery, right? And I asked it to create an interactive HTML dashboard, and it did. Okay, and it asked me would it like me to mark which ones residents are at risk, and it did. So it pointed out all the residents whose milestones were off. And this took a minute. Wellness programming. So I did a prompt. Generate a list of wellness activities for residents that can happen in Brooklyn. It came up with an idea, and I have a list. Outdoor activities. And I said put it in a PowerPoint. Why not? Mindfulness and mental health. Social and team building. Cooking classes and stuff. Community service. Oh, and PowerPoint did the illustrations. I didn't do this. Low-cost hospital-based ideas. I love coffee with leadership. Anyone want to come? I have coffee every day. It'll create a sample calendar. I said, okay, let's set up a night to play pool. Find the cheapest place. And this is in Copilot. Okay? Give me a list of pool halls and billiard places in Brooklyn and rank them by cost. Okay? Now, that doesn't mean they're going to negotiate for you. That requires you to make a nice phone call, call the salesperson, say, hey, I'm going to have a group. What's your rates? Do you have better rates? Do you have rates for healthcare workers or blah, 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 blah? But this is a good start, right? Copilot wouldn't do a map. I asked it to do a map for me. It wouldn't do a map. It says it doesn't have rendering. But I could promise you that other agents have maps, which will map all the places. Everybody said Gotham City Billiards is the best. Oh, and it gave me Yelp reviews. I think digital credential tracking, and we do some of this, but it's not AI. We're sort of wedded to new innovations. New innovation promises us more and more AI. They did merge with QGenda. They were purchased by QGenda, so they have double capacity for computer and stuff like that. We'll see. Leadership, data-driven. Remember, having graphics to show your data is really important, right? So we want to talk about credentialing risks, quality improvement, things like that. I'm missing a slide, but that's okay. So one of the things we need to do is onboard people and prove that they have education for things. So there are a whole slew of AI companies that provide. This is simulation training. There are a bunch of credentialing and compliance. But this is the one that's so exciting to me. AI for faculty. So we could convert all of our orientation or compliance into modules based on our data so instead of handing somebody a PDF and say, read this and sign that you received it, you can create a training module. And the one I was playing with is Articulate 360, but these are a bunch of them. They all have free short trials. So I created, I asked to train new and reappointing residents in sleep needs, fatigue mitigation, and how to work overnight. And I uploaded a bunch of our, including a talk I gave, a bunch of our handouts. Okay, and actually, let's see if we can get this to work. Let's see it. Okay, so start the course. We're not going to go through the whole course, but you can see importance. This is the continue. You guys can see the point, right? Isn't this? It was literally minutes. You could watch it as it was correcting, and you can go through it and edit it. But this is using your stuff, but it generated, and at the end there's I said I wanted a quiz, and there's a quiz. Back to PowerPoint. Okay, about data, more data, about looking at data. We have a lot of Excel spreadsheets, so if we generate a lot of Excel spreadsheets, I know we have a lot of access from in ACGME. Now we have ACGME analytics, and they're really useful, but you can get more out of it and on your own. So I have, part of my job is to create something called an annual update, where I go through all of our data, put them into slides, and present it to the governing body and create an executive summary. I uploaded my 40, 50 slides and asked it to generate an executive summary. And it did. I took my survey data, our survey data for the institution. I'm going to be honest, I took each of the PDFs or the Excel spreadsheets for the data. I had AI put it into one Excel spreadsheet. I had to make some adjustments because they've changed some questions. Then I uploaded that and asked it to summarize the findings and generate action plans. And it did. It created an executive summary. It also, and this is Copilot actually, it generated a graph. Minutes. So it's already here. We don't know where this is going. I only imagine it getting more and more interesting and capable and fast. But I think that everyone needs to jump on the bandwagon and do it in little bits. Every time you do a task, say, how can I do this faster and better? Is there a way that this can help me do it? Okay, it's not going to fill out every form for you. One day maybe. But for now, you can do your job quicker and better and get back to the real why. Why are you here? Are you here to fill out nonsense forms? Or are you here? I mean, you saw you can have forms filled out. Or are you here to do more? Anybody have any questions? I think I had, that's it. Oh, yeah, that's the policies that I meant to show this to you. So you can, in any other, you can create a GPT in any AI agent, upload your policies, and then ask it against it. Remember, you're inside, it will only look at the things you upload. And so what should your program look like now and in 5 years? And what should GME look like now in 5 years? Anyway, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Dresner. Another round of applause for Dr. Dresner. I love that presentation. She make it so easy, right? It looks so easy.
She's a guru. Dr. Dresner is an AI guru.
And in true fashion, we should jump on the bandwagon, because if this could make our lives easier, why not do it, right? So at this time, I want you to congratulate yourself, because we have successfully completed the first half of today's conference.